Welcome back, everyone. Got a quick crypto update for you again today. Starting off where I always like to start off with HEDERA. We're nearly at the 11 billion transactions. I haven't been monitoring this too closely lately, but the speed seems to be around about on par with what it's been the last couple of billion transactions. So that's looking good. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about today um, is what the heading is going to be on this video is about Australian crypto. Obviously, I'm in Australia and I had issues. I've had a few issues with crypto over the last year, and it's all about getting it onto exchanges, dealing with exchanges, and the way the banks have treated me and stuff like that. Um, Now, I've tried to deposit money into Binance about maybe a month or so ago, and it's quite apparent now, and the news is everywhere that Binance has removed the AUD pair. It's removed deposits into Binance, and it hasn't limited withdrawals yet. I think it's till the end of June. I think they're limiting withdrawals. Um, June or July. I can't remember to be exact, but they're limiting everything. And then the issue is that you couldn't get Aussie dollars onto Binance. And then even though they had the withdrawals available, it ruined the market so much that it was nearly not worth doing it. And I think people must have been selling their crypto regardless on the AUD pair because it was obvious because there was still trading going on the AUD pairs. I think they only had about 5 or 6 pairs on AUD. They had Bitcoin, Cardano, I think, XRP, and a few other things. But because there was no Aussie dollars flowing onto Binance, if you wanted to get Aussie dollars out, you needed to trade these pairs. And because there was no Aussie dollars going on the exchange, the market wasn't very favorable for you to be selling. So I think when I looked at one point, it got to about 20% difference. So to buy Bitcoin, in USD was about 27,000, I think, at the time, which was compared to Aussie dollars. I think it was about mid 40s or low 40s, 42,000 Australian dollars. But the price for Bitcoin in USD was the same, but to buy it or sell it on the Aussie pair was about 20% less. And I think it got to about 21,000 USD when it was 26 on the USD pair, and it was close to 20%. So if you had Aussie dollars on Binance, it was like a fire sale because you could buy those 6 cryptos for nearly 20% cheaper. And then if you really wanted to, you could send it off to another exchange or a hot or cold wallet, and you would have just got you know those 6 coins at nearly 20% off. It's a bit of a shame for the people that were trying to get their money out and maybe panicked and were just selling whatever price to get their cash out, and they would have taken a hit. So it's a bit of a messed up situation where they say they're doing this to help investors, and it's all about these scams that are going on apparently, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. But at the same point, these crypto exchanges, I don't think are scamming people. I think people are scamming people. So if you had money on, these exchanges of doing the right things and, not dealing or doing stupid things where you would lose your money, you got punished anyway. Because if you wanted to take your money out, you were getting like a 20% haircut. I'm sure some people would have worked out you could just send it to another, exchange like the other Australian ones. I'm not going to mention names, and then pull it out that way. And yeah, you're probably got to pay a fee to transfer the money over, and then you got to take a haircut on the exchanges because they take a percentage, and the spreads are usually not favourable, especially with the buy and sell features. If you don't trade on the market, it's never favourable, and then you got to pay fees and you got to pay the spread or the difference in the spread when you sell, which is ridiculous. But it would have been nowhere near 20%. So if people switched on they would have done it that way. But I did see trading still happening on the AUD pairs, and whoever was selling, like, yeah, they were getting punished. So they're saying now, what I want to get to is that happened about a month, 2 months ago when I was trying to trade on Binance, try to put money on Binance, and about a week or so before they banned the PayID, I was getting notifications that my money was being delayed. The PayIDs I was sending to, and I was using several bank accounts. I was using Commonwealth Bank, I was using Westpac, and I think Westpac froze it for about 24 hours, and then they let it through. And then I went to do it again a couple of days later, and they completely sort of stopped it. And that's when the the Binance news broke, and they completely PAYID Australia, or whatever it is, completely banned the deposits of Aussie dollars into Binance. Now, that was like a few days or a week or so leading up to this Binance ban. Now, I've encountered the same problem with the Australian crypto exchanges. I tried to put in money yesterday, and what I've been doing is um, I've got a lot of um, crypto on Binance, and I've got some on margin and stuff like that. And I was sending USDT over to Binance so I could trade and do everything I want to do on Binance because it's more favorable to do it on Binance with the trading and stuff like that. And it worked about 2 or 3 days ago, and then I tried to do it again yesterday, and I got sort of put on hold. So it put it on hold, and I've been trying to get money on with different bank accounts into different crypto exchanges. And what I found as of yesterday is that's when it's taken effect. Because I'm pretty sure 3 days ago it went through, then yesterday it didn't. And I've been talking with the banks, and they're all just saying the same story. They're trying to stop scams, and they keep sending this link saying there's $220 million that was lost through cryptocurrency and all this other stuff. Um, Now, this seems very similar to what they did with Binance. So, what is on the agenda for crypto in Australia? I don't think they're going to ban it completely, but I think they're going to regulate it in a way that favors either the banks or the governments or both. Um, I'm pretty sure, I've got a good feeling that the banks are now going to offer cryptocurrency trading. So if you want to do any trading for cryptocurrency, it's going to be done through the banks. So they want their grubby little hands all over it. And it's the same thing I've been seeing for years. You've got major banks, especially in US, condemning crypto, saying how bad it is, how much of a scam it is, you're going to lose all your money, all this other stuff. And then at the same time, they're accumulating, a huge amount. They say crypto has no use case. It's not worth anything. It doesn't do anything. Keep going on about how bad it is. Yet they're accumulating it, and then they're also developing with it. So if it doesn't work or it doesn't do anything, why are you using it? Like a few of the Australian major banks are getting on board with cross-border transactions. I think ANZ did something a couple of months ago, or was the first transaction using, I think it was Algo or something like that. I can't remember to be exact, and it was one of the first transactions done. So they're using it, so it serves a purpose. So one hand they're telling you it's a scam, it's not worth it, it's crap, it's all this, and at the same time they're buying it, they're developing it, and they're using it. So it's just insane. So what I think is gonna happen is they want to control it, and I think the banks are probably going to be in the future one of your only sources to really buy cryptocurrency. So it's all tracked, all monitored. They can you know, charge you tax accordingly, and they know what you're doing. They're probably going to limit how much you can buy, how much you can invest in it, and all this other type of stuff. So that's where I think this is probably going. I could be wrong, like I said, but if anyone's got their thoughts or knows anything, put it in the comments. I'd love to see it. But I think that's where we're going. So, is crypto going to be dead in Australia? God knows. I know in Canada they limit how much you can buy. I think you can only buy about 30. I think it's 30,000 a year, crypto. So it's not something that's completely unheard of. Seems to be like a nanny country. They try and control everything you do. So will crypto be on the agenda? Probably. But I'm a long-term holder in crypto. So my plans would be to get as much money as I can onto these crypto exchanges or into crypto before they ban it completely, and then store it into cold storage and all that type of stuff. It's not financial advice, but that's what I'll be doing. And obviously, I don't think they can kill crypto, but I think they want to control it. So if you got crypto that's out of the control of banks or the government or whatever, it's probably going to be worth a lot more than the ones that you know um, will be on these banking institutions or registered with the government, whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. But like I said, if anyone's got more information, I'm still pretty new to all this stuff. So if you've got any information, let me know, and I'd love to see it. Um, Following what I've been saying, onto some other news. Just in, Binance US suspends all USD deposits following SEC lawsuit. So it's the same thing happening. It's happening over there now. Binance is the biggest exchange. Are they trying to take out the biggest exchange? I know that they're trying to, in America, I think Wall Street is going to be offering crypto, I think in June or July. I don't know if they're waiting for some legislation to pass where they can do it, but is this why all these lawsuits are going on? Is this why they're targeting all the exchanges? Is it so they can cut out the competition, regulate it, and make you buy it through the government so they can tax you, they can see what you're doing, they can limit it, and all that type of stuff. So, is that what's going on? I'm not too sure. They say how bad it is, and at the same time, they want it as well. It's just nuts. So they've suspended that, which is huge. Um, I don't know if it's going to be actually good or bad for crypto at the end of the day. Like if you hold it, it's just going to become harder to get, which would make it more scarce, which might make it go up in price. Then again, Binance is the biggest exchange. I think from what I've seen recently in the last week or so, I think they deal with I think 80% of the trading on Bitcoin. I've got a bit of money on Binance. I think I've had a ledger. I've had a ledger for about a couple of months now. I'm trying to decide which hard wallet cold storage I want. And after all, I was about to set it up, then the Ledger news came out, and I'm just like, okay, well, which one do I get? I'm looking at it, maybe getting a Trezor now, but I still think Ledger is okay for the time being. Um, they're gonna, I think I watched an interview with one of the developers, and they said they were going to actually open source the code, which would be a big thing for the crypto world. But is your crypto safer on exchanges or on Ledger? I think probably Ledger at this point. So I'll be moving some of my coins over to Ledger, and maybe I'll get a couple and spread them over, and maybe have them on different hardware wallets as well. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. If you guys know of any good um, or better cold storage, I think Trezor looks pretty good. There's some other ones. I forgot what they were now. I was looking at them a couple of months ago, and I ended up going with Ledger because it seemed like the safest bet. Um, yeah, if anyone knows any other better ones, let me know. But it just seems the issue with Ledger, it seems that they can extract your seed phrase with a firmware update, and that was the biggest issue. So I don't know if everyone's up to date with Ledger, but basically they offered this service where they would um, you know, make available your seed phrase if you lost it. And it was like split into three, and it was sent to three different companies or entities, and it was encrypted. You still had control of it all, but the main issue is that it seems to have created a backdoor. Like they can do an update where if you need to download the update, and then they can access it through the backdoor. I think that was the main issue. And then it got even worse because they mentioned things that if the government wanted to get that information through court or a lawsuit or something, they would have to hand it over. But he also said you can put like a passphrase over the seed phrase. So even if you got the seed phrase, you need the passphrase as well. But then again, if anything can be extracted with an update onto the um, all the firmware and stuff, if there's an update that can extract it all, that is a bit concerning. So I don't, and at the end of the day, if you're doing anything with these wallets, there is an element of trust, and that's what the developer said. I've heard a few people say that. And it's who you're going to trust the most, I guess. Um, Now, I think there are some hardware wallets that are completely disconnected from the internet, and that's what I didn't understand when I was just trying to research enough stuff on Ledger to see if I wanted to buy it. I couldn't understand how you get your seed phrase offline, but you need to connect it online to connect it to the internet. And they explain it. It makes a bit of sense, but it doesn't seem right still. And the truth sort of came out the other week when they said they could actually, get it with an update to a certain extent. Um, but the service was opt-in, but it still goes to show the potential to do it may still be there if they really wanted to, or I don't know. So I'm a little bit conflicted on what to do and what hardware wallet to use. Um, yeah, if anyone has any good ideas, let me know. Um, Justin as well, Russia's largest bank to offer crypto trading services. So you've got everything regulating crypto. The bank stopping you sending money to exchanges. It's happening here. Then all of a sudden, you've got a bank offering crypto. So is that the way we're all going? I think it is. I think if you want to buy crypto in the future, don't get me wrong, it could be really good for crypto because then all of a sudden people are going to be confident in it. People are going to be, happy with the regulations, feel safe, and the adoption might grow quite a bit. So it could be really good for crypto. Um, I just think having some crypto off this sort of controlled measures would probably be more valuable at the same time as well. So I'm trying to get in before it gets to this point because I think um, it'll be more scarce to have, you know, crypto in your control opposed to, the banks and that. And I'm just curious. I wonder if they would even let you send it to hardware wallets if they do it through the banks. Or will it be like some of those share trading exchanges where you don't actually like you're buying. It's even like crypto exchanges now. Like you don't even know if they have the crypto that you're buying. They might, until you take it off. That's when they might buy the crypto and send it to your hardware wallet. But at the end of the day, it's just numbers trading on a screen between people, and they're just making a killing off it. So I get that. I don't know. But will it be better on the banks? I don't know. So time will tell. Until then, I'm trying to get as much crypto as I can, and I think it will be worth a lot more than the ones that are, on these banks or being controlled or limited by the government. So that's my plan. I'm not wearing my tinfoil hat, but I know it might sound like it, but all the ducks are sort of lining up. And last thing on XRP news, there's not much happening. Everyone's still waiting for the emails. They come in about a week. But I was just flicking through today, and John Deedon, the lawyer, he's talking about the amicus briefs and stuff like that. And I think people's confusion with Ripple and XRP being the same thing, they're not the same thing. Ripple's being sued, and he sort of explains that as well. His main sort of contention is that XRP isn't a security, just like Bitcoin and ETH. And the other thing that I found interesting, I just thought of it now, but with the lawsuit with Binance, in the court documents, there is reference to them saying that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I think it was Litecoin are commodities, and the rest were securities, or the majority were securities, or something like that. So it did give some sort of indication that Bitcoin and ETH are commodities, and they've So it gives you a bit of, peace of mind to a certain extent that the government sort of made their decision on Bitcoin. Um, I don't really hold Bitcoin. I'm more into XRP and some other coins and HEDERA and stuff like that. And maybe Bitcoin is the way to go because, even the US government is saying it's a commodity and they're sort of backing that as well. Something to think about. Like I mentioned in the video, if you guys have any ideas of hardware wallets or can explain it a bit better or send me some links or something on how it works, and what's the best way and the safest way to do it, I'd really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.